Okay, so now we're in a winterage which has been perfectly grazed over winter, absolutely beautifully grazed. But you can see here we're in a little hollow and there's an awful lot of dead grass and dead litter built up. You can peel it away now. And this is Purple Moor-grass. And the reason that this is built up is because it's only been winter grazed, this field. When it dies off, it's like poor straw and cattle just won't eat it. But this is the grass which is really nutritious and palatable sort of in June and July in particular, and it offers a very handy bite if you're short of grass anywhere else. Now this particular field, it's only got it in little pockets, but you can see what happens is this grass will lay down the litter and it outcompetes all the other grasses and other plants. So again, while this field only has small patches of it, particularly if you go into parts of the East Burren, there's more of it where you've got a heavier clay soil. And if you don't give those a light summer graze, this grass will actually lower your carrying capacity and how much feeding you're going to have on your winterage over time, because it's just going to outcompete all the other grasses and herbs that the cattle would eat over the winter. So really, this just needs the cows letting in for a couple of days to top off these areas. If you've got more purple moor-grass, you need to let them in maybe for a little bit longer. They won't go and graze out your whole winterage. They'll actually come and they'll target this grass and they'll just nip off the tops, but that's enough to stop the build-up of the litter later in the year and keep your winterages in good condition and with a better carrying capacity into the future. Okay, so this is a field that used to have a build-up of dead litter associated with purple moor-grass like the other field we looked at. But what the farmers started doing here is actually letting the cows in sort of June, July usually, often when he's cut silage and needs a bit more grass. And they come in and they top off the purple moor-grass. So you can see, yes, there's a little bit of litter, but it's nothing like the other side. The leaves are much shorter. You've got the other grasses coming through, other flowers are coming through. And actually, this has started to flush now, and because the cows are still on this winterage, it's not quite the end of the winterage period, they've already started to top off this purple moor-grass here. If we were here at the end of the winter, this field would look very, very different because you'd see all the rocks that are currently hidden by the vegetation. The thing about this field is, while it's been grazed as winterage, it isn't a true winterage. It's very, very strong. So in this section here, we've got more typical winterage type vegetation. So we've got quaking grass, we've got bird's foot trefoil, we've got devil's bick scabious. It's quite a thin sward, but move away and there's areas here where there's a lot more deep soil and you get a lot more strong grass growth, and you lose things like the quaking grass and things like cocksfoot grass become dominant. Now this is a bad sign for a winterage, really, too much cocksfoot. Because cocksfoot, by the time the cattle go in the autumn or winter, will have lodged and it becomes slimy and they don't get to eat it. So really what this field needs is a nice summer graze to top off all these strong areas. And it's quite interesting because cattle will definitely go for the sweeter summer grasses and graze those ones down. So if you're seeing this grass out on your winterage and a lot of it, you definitely know that you need to do a light summer graze. The thing with that, as I say, is the cattle won't graze it off over winter, so it's wasted grass. And then it creates a litter layer. Now, the litter layer, because it's later in summer now, is breaking down. Even if we look down here, you can see there's a layer of dead grass. This is the remains of what wasn't eaten last year. And this is actually suppressing the smaller plants from growing and other plants because it's taking away the light from those species. So this really needs a good hard winter graze and then a light graze. Timing of the light graze will vary. You have to do it by eye, sometimes different years, but this really around now is the right time to summer graze this one, just to top it off.